Hi everyone. In today's clip, I will talk a little bit about magnesium. Just a reminder that anything I post here is not meant to diagnose or cure anything, and it's for informational use only. For any health-related matters, please consult your healthcare provider. So magnesium is not just one substance. There are many various versions available, and the confusion for the consumer is a serious matter. When you buy magnesium supplements, the magnesium is usually attached to another molecule like glycine, citrate, malic acid, taurine, chloride or oxide. The attached molecule changes how the magnesium is going to behave, including its absorption, its effect on the intestines, and sometimes the reason we need to choose that particular form of magnesium. So the most important number on supplement labels we need to pay attention to is elemental magnesium. For example, the bottle may say magnesium bisglycinate 2000 milligram. And then you will see it says providing 200 milligram magnesium. So you're basically getting 200 milligram of elemental magnesium, not 2000. Because the list is extensive, you might find me talking a little bit faster today to make the clip a little bit shorter. Sorry about that, but all these forms usually start at 300 milligram elemental magnesium a day. That's general, so the average. So now let's look at the different types of magnesium in as brief as I can. There is magnesium glycinate or magnesium bisglycinate. This is one of the most popular forms for everyday supplementation. This form of magnesium is bound to the amino acid glycine, and you will see both magnesium glycinate and bisglycinate on labels, and they're very closely related names for the same basic chelated form. This type is particularly useful for relaxation, sleep, muscle tension, muscle cramps, and nervous system support. This form is also for those who want magnesium without strong laxative effects. Glycinate is generally considered gentle on the digestive tract and is taken in the evenings. Then we have magnesium citrate. This is magnesium combined with citric acid, and it is one of the better absorbed and more commonly used forms as well. And it is particularly useful for general magnesium supplementation, constipation, and muscle function. Those who want a magnesium form with a laxative effect, this would be one of the proper ones. Citrate has an important characteristic. It can pull water into intestine, and consequently it can be an excellent choice for someone who is constipated, but too much of it can cause diarrhea and abdominal cramps. Then we have magnesium malate. This combines magnesium with malic acid. Malic acid participates in energy metabolism, which is why magnesium malate is often chosen for daytime use, and is particularly useful for muscle support, physical fatigue, and energy metabolism for those who don't want a strongly laxative form. It can be taken in the morning or divided between morning and afternoon. Some people actually prefer malate during the day and glycinate in the evening. Then we have magnesium L-threonate, and which is newer and substantially more expensive form. This is magnesium that is bound to L-threonic acid, which is a metabolite of vitamin C, which means body produces this when it is processing vitamin C. It has attracted particular interest because it is marketed for brain and nervous system support, and it is used for memory, concentration, cognitive function, brain health, and nervous system support. Then we have magnesium taurate. This is a magnesium bound to taurine. Taurine is an amino acid-like compound involved in several physiological processes. This combination is particularly interesting for people looking for magnesium form oriented towards the heart, nervous system, and muscles. So this form is usually given to heart failure patients and is used for cardiovascular support, muscle function, and nervous system support. We have magnesium chloride, is magnesium plus 2 chloride ions, and chloride is an important electrolyte involved in fluid balance and stomach acid production. This is very soluble. This is a very soluble form of magnesium and available in capsules, tablets, powders, liquid magnesium, and magnesium chloride flakes as well. So topical magnesium preparations, this is specifically used for, and it's useful for, and people who prefer, let's say, liquid magnesium or magnesium supplementation when good solubility is desired, as well as bathing. But start with lower dosages if you're using this, if you're prone to diarrhea. By the way, you might hear about something called magnesium oil. So magnesium oil usually isn't actually oil. It is generally a concentrated solution of magnesium chloride in water, which is applied to the skin. You will see it mainly talked about for use to massage at the bottom of the feet before going to sleep for relaxation purposes. Then we have magnesium lactate, which is another relatively well-absorbed form. This is magnesium and lactic acid. It is suitable for people looking for a general magnesium supplement and can be easier on the digestive system than some of the more strongly sort of laxative forms. This form is usually used for general magnesium supplementation, magnesium replacement, people who don't tolerate other forms, as well as constipation. Then we have magnesium aspartate, which is a combination of magnesium and aspartic acid. Aspartic acid is a form of naturally occurring amino acid in the body that is produced for energy metabolism, nitrogen handling, nervous system signaling, and it helps make other compounds. This form of magnesium considered relatively well absorbed and is used for general magnesium supplementation and magnesium replacement. Then we have magnesium oxide. This is one of the most misunderstood forms of magnesium. It contains a relatively high proportion of elemental magnesium, which makes supplement labels look impressive. This is pretty much magnesium plus oxygen. However, magnesium oxide is less readily absorbed than several other forms, and it has strong laxative effect, and it is the cheapest form of magnesium produced. This is at times sort of useful for constipation and occasional antacid use, as well as situations where a relatively high amount of elemental magnesium is desired in small tablet form. If your goal is simply to increase magnesium intake, the preferred forms are usually glycinate, citrate, malate, chloride, lactate, and not really oxide. So if you're buying a multivitamin, for example, and you see that they have used oxide form, this would be sort of an indication that they are cutting corners on the quality. So that sort of makes the other ingredients also a little bit questionable. If your goal is constipation, oxide becomes considerably more interesting. So then we have magnesium hydroxide. This is best known as milk of magnesia. And this is used for, again, constipation and as an antacid treatment. This is not usually used for everyday nutritional magnesium supplement. Its effects are primarily gastrointestinal because relatively little is absorbed sort of systemically. Then we have magnesium carbonate, which is found in some supplements and antacid products. This can provide magnesium, but has less predictable absorption than some of the better established forms, and it can produce loose stools, gas, and abdominal discomfort. Then we have magnesium sulfate, which is better known as Epsom salt. There's an edible form of this form of magnesium as well, which is taken orally, has a significant laxative effect. This has been traditionally used where there is a major cleanse sort of required. It is not generally the first choice though. So this product is generally used for Epsom salt baths, for relaxation, muscle comfort, and bathing basically, and physical activity, after physical activity. Then we have magnesium gluconate, which is another soluble magnesium salt. This is a mix of magnesium and glucose, and it is gentler than magnesium oxide. It has been taken in small doses, and again, another form that does cause loose stools. In general, unless there is a special need, this is not the best form of supplementation. Then we have magnesium orotate, which is magnesium combined with orotic acid. And this form has attracted particular attention in the areas of heart health, cellular energy, and more is not sort of nearly as common as glycinate or citrate or oxide. Then we have magnesium acetyl taurate. Now, this is a much less common and newer magnesium form. It combines magnesium with acetyltaurine. It has sort of attracted interest for potential applications like the nervous system, brain function, and cardiovascular function. However, this isn't a form I would automatically choose over glycinate, citrate, or malate. And there isn't an established standard daily dose for general supplementation of this. We also have some other unusual forms of magnesium that you would probably not see on the shelves, such as magnesium pidolate. This is more commonly encountered in some European preparations than in North America. It is magnesium bound to pidolic acid. This particular acid helps the body handle amino acid and maintain glutathione. This is used for general magnesium supplementation and magnesium replacement. We have magnesium fumarate, and this combines magnesium with fumaric acid. It is relatively uncommon. It may be found in specialized supplements, but there isn't a compelling general reason for most people to choose fumarate over more established forms. We have magnesium succinate, which combines magnesium with succinic acid. It is another relatively uncommon form. It is sometimes marketed towards cellular energy metabolism, and general magnesium supplementation. Then we have magnesium ascorbate, which combines magnesium with vitamin C. So it consequently provides magnesium and vitamin C, basically. This can be useful if someone specifically wants the two together. However, there isn't necessarily an advantage over taking magnesium and vitamin C separately. Like, it's the same thing. Then we have magnesium acetylglycinate. This is another chelated magnesium form, and it is related conceptually to glycinate because magnesium is associated with a glycine-derived compound. This is less common than standard magnesium bisglycinate. We have magnesium phosphate, is another naturally occurring magnesium salt. It can appear in mineral preparations, food additives, and specialized supplements. And it isn't usually one of the first choices for concentrated magnesium supplementation because other forms provide magnesium more conveniently. Then we have magnesium hydroxide carbonate, mixed magnesium salts. Some products contain mixture rather than one pure form. You may encounter combinations like magnesium carbonate, magnesium hydroxide, or citrate plus oxide, or glycinate plus citrate. Several different magnesium salts together can be combined, and these combinations aren't necessarily bad. In fact, manufacturers sometimes deliberately combine forms to produce different effects, such as one form sort of providing better absorption and another providing bowel effect, right? So if we step away from the chemistry for a moment, the enormous magnesium family becomes much easier to understand for us to sort of know what to take. For example, for relaxation, muscles, and evening use, you use magnesium glycinate or bisglycinate. This would be one of the first choices. For constipation is magnesium citrate, or when specifically required, being used as laxative, magnesium oxide or hydroxide. For daytime and muscle relaxation, or muscle strength, I should say, magnesium malate. For brain-focused supplementation, magnesium L-threonate. For cardiovascular-oriented supplementation, magnesium taurate and magnesium orotate. For a highly soluble general supplement, magnesium chloride. For general supplementation with good absorption, magnesium citrate, lactate, chloride, aspartate, or glycinate. For inexpensive magnesium with strong bowel effect, magnesium oxide. So hope this has been helpful. My clips are available on TikTok, Telegram, and YouTube. Like, share, and follow for more. Be the light.